The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Now, do you remember meeting me now that you see me?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. We had the hardest time trying to figure out how to use Venmo. And I felt bad because, like, I know, like, the next performer that was on, like, you were trying to watch them too. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean?
I have to believe that's operator error on my behalf.
I don't know. I didn't know because it won, like, a number. And then I just hit continue anyway, and then it continued on its own. And I don't know, but it was a pleasure to meet you that night. That was an awesome show at Faces. I don't know. Sometimes, like, it's been a long time that I went to see a band at the time. I went to see a band or a musician that I really didn't know their catalog, and it hit me the way your set hit me. So,
oh, thank you.
Of course, man.
Very much.
Yeah, and I think a big favorite of everyone of yours is Island Point of View, right? And,
yeah.
And when that song, like that, it just really got me, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I got like the little, like the I don't know, the goosebumps or whatever.
Yeah.
From it. And, yeah, it was good.
Oh wow, I mean, thank you.
Of course. And then I got to see you again with Lesser Devils at Jamie's, like the Christmas show he puts on.
Oh, at the
there.
Midway.
Yeah, at the Midway. Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. It was cool to see you guys.
That was
play.
our first real Lesser Devils show.
I think so. I think I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, we hopped on some show like last minute. I think someone's band bailed on. I think it might have been at like the Cantab, and last minute, and someone was like trying to fill a slot, and we were like, I don't know, we practice enough, we'll play. So we played for no one. Yeah. It was great. That was our first show.
Yeah,
so that was our first real show.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And again, like I said, I have you on. I have a list that I keep, and like I'm like, you're on the list. So I was happy that you reached out because we could kind of streamline that, you know.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me.
Of course. I mean, you've been doing this thing for a minute. You're Jeff. I don't think I can go to a show in Massachusetts, and if your name comes up, I don't think there's I don't think there will ever be a time where someone doesn't know who Jeff Rowe is. You know what I mean? So,
well, when you're old, you stick around long enough.
Right on.
Yeah, you don't stray too far. Yeah.
Right on, man. When did you get started with like playing music? When did you decide that you wanted to play music?
Like 15 years old. But that was a guitar gift, and I liked music, and I had like this. I have siblings, and it'd be like one room is like my brother's listening to like earlier like thrash metal. The next room, my sister's listening to like the Violent Femmes, and I just had this like mesh of like music around me, and I didn't think I was ever going to be able to really play the damn thing. To be honest, I was more of like a baseball person. I was like I played sports. And then I immediately, once I started learning how to play guitar, I was like, this feels right.
Yeah.
And, from there, it was like there was no Gloucester, Mass had nothing, no scene or anything like that. So it was just recruiting your friends. It wasn't like, oh, my friend plays drums. It was like, will you be a drummer? Will you learn?
Yeah.
And it was like, so that stuff was like fun. So the DIY kind of ethic was there only because it was like there's no other alternative.
Right on.
So
I think Tied to the Bear was the first project I remember. First time ever, getting introduced to something with you involved. And I got it through Mark Lynn's record club that he had at the time. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you when the podcast started making that turn towards music and away from other, like at first it was like all people who created art, and then I kind of just found a lane with music. I still do whatever I want, but for the most part, it's people involved with music, whether it's a musician or a writer or a radio person, But most of the people that I talked to in the very beginning of that part was like people I found through the record club.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's how I discovered some of my favorite bands. Was
that's
through there.
That's a very intentional thing. That's a pretty great way to find like a resource.
Hell yeah! So but that was my first thing. I remember that record, and I loved that record. For everything, So
that band is like the culmination of like kind of like the just such a bud band. Like they're like, when we started that band, it was like members of other bands that I like really adored, and also we were really all like friends anyway. So it was like Harley, who is in like one of my favorite bands, Choke Up, and Polly, who is in like one of my favorite bands, Landmines, and then we had Matt Murphy, who's like solo on his own and like just wonderful. So it was like, I felt like every practice, everything we did, always had this like tiny bit of like joy to it. We like look around the room and you're like, we're still gonna do this, huh? This is great.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, did all of you come from other projects to make this one, or was it like this was the project and then everyone just spread out afterwards? But
yeah, we came to it. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Because everyone you just mentioned, they're great in their own way too. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
You had Paul on. You had Paul on from
I did. Yeah. I had Paul on. Yep. I told him I'd like to get him back on to talk more about the label than anything too. So now, for sure. I want to think. Who played that night? And do you remember at Faces when I saw?
So I actually thought about this, and I wish my memory wasn't for shit. I'm
old too, so like mine's gone.
Was that KCUF and Billy Liar?
Maybe
Scotland, Billy Liar. I don't. So
no,
like, he's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
Did Hell Beach play that one? No.
Hell Beach. That might have been the Hell Beach show. Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. That was a good show, man. That was a really good show, and I think that was the first. No, it might have been the second time I had seen Hell Beach too. Those guys are great.
Great band.
I talk about like just what New England has for music a lot. Not just on the podcast either. I'm out and about. When I've lived in like different parts of the country, and like I always talked about the music here because like I wasn't from like the music community here. Like I grew up in Rhode Island, and like I came out for a show one time in the late 90s, I can't even remember now, early 2000s. Saw a band, and I was like, this whole thing is incredible, and like I just got really locked in to the music that was going on here, and coming, moving back to Massachusetts. I lived here for 5 or 6 years. I left, and then I came back, and like I've been welcomed into like the music community because of the podcast, and it's just like
that's awesome.
I think no matter who you are, no matter what you do, you'll be welcomed into this community here, and I think that's a very special thing. And
I would hope so.
I think right now is a really special time for New England music too. I think right now.
I do too. It's funny as I often feel like up until recently I felt like slightly removed from it just because like I'm a bit like can be like a bit reclusive and just like life in general has that kind of pendulum to it where it's like, where's your mental health, where's all the things to consider, and and I was kind of vicariously living vicariously through a lot of friends that have started bands and watching the scene kind of exist without even being a part of it. And it looked like such camaraderie, and everyone's like, there's like always like a leg up to somebody else, just being like, like people posting other people's shows. Like I remember like when we used to go out and flyer when we were like younger, and we would flyer for shows that we weren't even playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that got lost somewhere, but I feel that in this scene right now.
Yes.
And that's so cool.
I totally agree with you on that. I think you're right. I think there's this like, the resurgence of just kind of like, just like supporting one another on this level. Like they might not even they might not even be able to get to that show, but they're still going to repost it or whatever on social media.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty, I don't know if that's actually really like indicative of how music scenes are right now across like the country, but like, I think it's pretty special.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And like, I'm somebody who, like, when I see stuff on social media, I will share it. I'm not a big social media guy. I hop in and I have to do my posts for the podcast.
Sure.
And then I try to hop out and like, I mean, we'll take like, like what happened yesterday in the United States as an example, like just all the bickering that went on with that, like the extra, you know what I mean? Like, like we had two terrible events happen, and like it just like I don't know, I just couldn't deal with like the social media aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a lot of white noise. I find it. I think that's another reason with like the disconnect a little bit, or feeling disconnected, is that like I don't know if to be immersed in that is really poor for my mental health. So I kind of like what you said. You kind of like click on, click off, dip your toes in, get out. Like I tend to be more that way, because I also don't like the feeling of like looking at my phone and then realizing I lost an hour. I'm still gonna do it, but I don't like the feeling.
Yeah, I get you there too. Yeah, I that happens way too often, especially, or I'll hop on to do something specific and then get caught up in that, and then I'm like, what the fuck did I get on here for?
Yeah.
I try to step away from it. I had someone help me with the social media for a long time, because like I just mentally I couldn't do it. I was, I just like I'm pretty doomy and gloomy enough. I don't need extra added to that, because it's just, it's just like, ugh. So, but now I do it again. I took it over, like doing the posts and stuff. So, for a bunch of reasons, but one is like now it's my fault if it doesn't get up. I don't have to like.
Yeah.
I don't like making people have to like live on my schedule. So I post the stuff when I need to post the stuff, and that's that,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I'm really like poor with like letting people know like I'm playing shows and stuff, is I'm just not a good promoter.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like myself usually.
Right.
This like doing this new record, putting out this solo record, I was like the most I've done for myself in like forever. And even that felt like a little bit foreign, even though I know that's part of it.
Mm-hmm. I gotta ask, well, before we say that, I'll agree with you. Like, I don't feel like, and I think that's something that, if in a perfect world, okay, I have like a record label, and me as a label would help with the promoting, and you know what I'm saying, like doing all those, because I feel like that's one of the things I feel like a label should be doing, and like it's tough in today's world, because like there's so many different ways you could have like a label or whatever, but like an artist at the end of the day just wants to create something. Like me, I just want to write. That's all I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I do like the podcast and stuff, and I have to like nowadays I have to kind of balance that, right? But like I'm always like I get it. I get why I didn't like why it's not your job. Unfortunately, like it's there should be people here to help, and I feel like that's a big thing with communities as well. I think enough people will helps with that too. But I am terrible at like promoting my own shit. And I'm really bad at like pushing my shit aside to get the thing done I need to do for like the podcast or for the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I know I need to find a balance for that too,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of work, and it's like, it can't be the be all end all.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you you can get pretty lost in that.
I think so. And I also think that's why I'm always saying like I don't want just one thing as like an identity. Like I don't want to just be known as the podcast guy. And that's why I do all these other things too. Because there's many, it took me like 38 years just to we'll say, I mean, I guess minus we'll say it took 30 years to let people read the shit I wrote. You know what I mean? Never mind I spent 20 years writing screenplays. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything with them. That would have been cooler if I did. You know,
that's really cool though. All right.
Yeah. So now I'm just I don't know. I'm just like a super late bloomer, I guess, when it comes to sharing my stuff and everything.
Are you still? Let's turn the questions around. Are you still? Are you still chipping away at screenplays or trying?
Not as screenplays. I've kind of so the last screenplay I wrote, I finished it and realized that I wanted more. So I'm slowly like converting. I tell you what, a screenplay is a really good first draft for a novella or something, because the way it's set up and breaks down, and like you got your important you got your important actions that got to happen and everything. But now I'm taking it and I'm like filling it in to make the next draft. So I haven't worked on it in quite a time, because this summer I decided I wanted to release a bunch of essays that I wrote and like thoughts and shit like that on Bandcamp as like an audiobook. So I've been working at trying to get those finished, it's all edited and stuff, just getting those recorded and mixed and mastered and ready to go. So that's what's been my summer project so far.
That's really cool. I think it's important to have varying creative outlets.
Yeah. Well, I also, the night I met you, I bought your book of short stories, and I haven't gotten to it quite yet. I wanted to ask you about that though. So like having those different outlets, right, for your creativity, we'll say, like between writing a song and then writing a story, what does it do different things for you internally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I approach them a little bit different too. Like I feel like with like writing fiction or dark fiction or whatever, it's like it's a little bit easier to kind of expand an idea, and a lot of those ideas are more just like based in like day-to-day stuff, like your general fears or whatever, whereas like sometimes like with songs it's like there's not a lot of space to say it, so you have to be like, less is more. But also like I get like a more like, it's almost like it's more visceral for me to write songs, whereas like with stories it's like a very like kind of, there's almost like a weird like elegance to the process, because you're like, it's like a consistent kind of like, I could chip away at this for a very long time, and you could do that with a song too. But I really do feel like at a certain point in that like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or however long your song is, you will reach a point where you're like, I can no longer chip away at this thing. This is the song, this is where it's at, unless you get outside help with friends or something. Right. But with stories, I always feel like I have like this broad idea, whereas like with songs sometimes it could be something as simple as something that happens in my life, or something like bizarre, like someone like who is like missed a button on their shirt, or like they're like going to like a funeral and they didn't get their tie right. I'll sit and stew on that for so long, and and it'll just be that one thing, and then I'll write a song about that. And sometimes I feel like I don't write songs for a while because I feel like I have literally nothing to say. Really? It's like I have to live a little bit more. I sometimes feel like I have to have another experience, because the fiction stuff lives in the story, and the songs for me are definitely rooted in like what I see in my life and who I am. I got you.
That's all. That's an awesome way to look at it. And like, so I've had this thing. I don't know if you listen to the show or not, but like I have this thing about writing, where I can't write a song, and I don't know how, and I've tried, and like I can't do it, and I don't know how. Like I feel like I have too much to say. You know what I mean? So to get it all condensed in, and like, would be, actually, I talked to Micah Schnabel about it on the podcast, and because he's someone that he can change his cadence in such a way that he can get XYZ amount of words out. You know what I mean? And like, I'm just like, how?
I mean, he is just an incredible songwriter too, and that like Micah and Vanessa together are just like, I don't know, like the Lesser Devils played with them, and it was one of those moments where sometimes I feel like cynical, and I really try not to, but the world is such as it is, so it's a little bit tough for me.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna actually look around and not actively lie to myself, I do feel a bit cynical. But when I saw them play that night, I felt like that cynicism was just completely washed away, and in its place was some kind of like need to act or react, but in a positive manner. And I think that is such a wildly rare thing, and like a weird gift that someone can give to you as a performer or as an artist, is to like have this like indelible effect on you, to be like, wait a minute, there's a touch of beauty in this anger.
Yeah, yeah.
So
see, I that's how I feel that way about your music too, though.
thank you.
I do, I really do, and like, you know, let's get to Let's Die Slowly. Like, I have like listening to it over. I've listened to it a few times, and like today I was going over it again just for the show, and like the one I don't know. I again, I'm a storyteller. I write, so like when I listen to things, like I get like the imagery in my head and stuff like that. And a word that kept popping up to me, like when while I'm listening to it, is like, there's like that beauty, the beauty that you were just talking about, like that's in there, and like it gives me hope. And that the word hope just kept coming to me like while I was listening, because like I think one of the biggest things about music for me is the connection, right? Like I love bands that do like the funny stuff every once in a while, but like I am like it will never, and it's just my preference. Like I prefer like the stuff that you can really deeply connect with, and that's something I got from this record.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The songs are a little bit old for me too, which is kind of going back and listening to them, and I sat on that record for like 4 years. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. It was finished. COVID was happening, getting a bit wild, and a lot of transitions in my life were happening, and I didn't lose track of it. It just never felt like I had this like drive to put it out for some reason. I shared it with friends along the way here and there, or like a song or two. But I don't know why, but it felt like the right time now to just be like, hey, I should just put this out. I'm tired of owning it. Yeah. Because I do feel like there's like there's some kind of like relief to putting something out where it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
Like I think when it's yours, it's still special, but it's like ballast. It's like I want to move on, but also like I can do that by just being like, okay, I did this. This is cool. I like it. I like it enough to share it, at least, you know. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I like that. And I think you're right. Once you put something out there, like it's not just for you anymore. It's for everybody, right? Yeah, and also like the way people interpret things, you know, like it's like a song could be like, I could write something about something really specific for me, and it can be something totally different for someone else, and I kind of adore that exchange, because I know when I'm like, as a fan of music, when I'm listening to music, I know that I am affixing my own narrative. Oh yeah. I do that all the time. Yeah. It's the storyteller in this, right? Like, I could take something that's not like, it's something like, I can get something that doesn't have, we'll say it's not a concept album, right? But I still feel that overarching story to it, right? Because at the end of the day, unless you're putting out like a singles collection or something, like these songs are from you, and they're about like your life or some aspect of your life, and like you're telling. Like, it might not be a conscious decision that they come out and they have this overarching thing. But, like, sometimes I've told people that, and they're like, nah, that wasn't that at all. And I'm like, cool. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I still got it that way, and they're cool with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Totally. Yeah. That, and that a part of that, too, I think was, like, that record was a very, like, when I first went to go record with Ryan Stack, it was in New Hampshire, and it was such a solitary thing. I was always used to having like even when I recorded solo stuff, I always had some friends around. And when we first laid down the initial tracks, it was just the vocals and the guitar were live. We kept it live, and it was pretty much just me and Stack and myself. And it was COVID, so we're like doing our version of keeping distance and like trying to and it wasn't until bringing in Stack played a bunch of instruments on it, but Christine from Little Low did a lot of the backups, which just gave it so much depth. And it wasn't until people started contributing to it that it became like less sad and solitary, and it started to become this like thing, because the songs are kind of sad to me, but they're also like they had much more like grief affixed to them when it was just like my voice and a guitar. And when everything else kind of came around it, I was like, oh, this is, maybe I'm feeling a little bit of that hope you were talking about.
Yeah. I think that's a thing. It's definitely a thing. And also, like, the sadder the song and the more someone can relate to it, like, I think you get a little bit of hope from that too, because like you don't feel as alone, right? When you relate to something like that, Totally. So yeah, for sure. I have to ask you something about the first track, the Human Toll.
Yes.
So in the intro, it's got that super twangy, like what is that? Like, I've heard that in country songs. I remember the Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse opens with like that twangy thing. Like what is that? A guitar noise? Is that like what?
It's a pedal steel guitar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That like I was like I gotta ask, because like it's something that I've heard a million times and I don't know what it is.
This guy Casey played. Super nice dude. He played on a bunch of the songs, just doing like embellishments and has that twang to it. In certain parts of it, that instrument has an ability to be like really sad sounding, really like textured. But that's what that is.
That's cool. And you said you had these written like over COVID, or they were already written and done?
Yeah, they were done.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just like kind of sitting around. I kind of didn't know what to do with it, because part of me, I'd been on a few record labels, and a lot of that, the work is kind of like predicated on the notion that you're going to do a lot of touring and stuff. And I wasn't really, didn't seem like a thing. So it was kind of like asking people to potentially invest in a record that I wouldn't be able to put like my own like real like work into it on the road. And then when stuff kind of cleared up, I kind of felt like I was a little bit on to the next thing, but I also, I'd grown a bit tired of solo shows.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I really love playing with people and like having like a band. And I did the solo stuff for like so long and so many shows that I felt like I had to love it again. But I felt like if I took a break from it, I would love it again. And I do now, which is great.
Yeah.
And it feels good to do it. But, it was like the solo thing is weird, because there's a sense of accomplishment to it when you kind of like did the thing, but like it's not like, unless you're like an ego maniac, you're not gonna like get off stage and be like, great set, man.
Yeah.
Right. You're just kind of like you sit with that and you're like, I think that was a good set. I think that was representative.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh man. All right. So now, have you guys released anything with Lesser Devils as of late?
Yeah.
You did you released something early on, right?
Just an EP, yeah. And I'm so stoked on that EP, and this Lesser Devils is like, we talk about it in the band. It's like I bring like a skeleton of a song, and it winds up being like we co-write pretty much everything, including like Ken, who plays bass. He writes some of the lyrics too, which is different for me. I haven't really delved into singing other people's lyrics. It's an absolute joy, because he's a great lyricist. But I basically bring a skeleton, and then everybody works on it. The song winds up sounding nothing like what I brought, and I wind up just loving the song even more.
That's awesome.
It's like a very, very like it's a group effort. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. We should get the whole band on at some point too. I'll talk to.
Would love to.
Yeah. We'll plan that eventually. Yeah, but
that sounds great.
Yeah, no. So getting back to the new record, like, I dug it, man, and it's, I don't know, it definitely has like I said, it has that hope vibe to it. Like, it kept giving that, but it had the sad songs, and like the thing about it is like maybe like because I mean, shit. So this was done in 2020. So when did you write the songs? It was earlier than that.
Yeah, probably. Probably peppered in over the. I write like when I do write, I write like a lot of songs.
Okay.
So some get lost in the mix, and some are just like ones that like might be good for a band someday. But these ones were picked specifically. I had sent Stack, who produced it and played drums and a bunch of instruments. I think I remember. I could be wrong. I think I remember sending him a bunch of like really poorly recorded phone demos.
Yeah.
Because I never record anything well myself ever.
Yeah.
And I think I sent him a ton of stuff, and I think he said something to the effect of, "Do you want to make like do you want to make a great record, or do you want to make a great sad record?" And I was like, "A great sad record." Mm-hmm. And so I think I don't think I'm making this up. It's so long ago that it gets a little bit blurred, especially with my memory. But I think we chose like the saddest songs that I had at the time.
Yeah.
Collectively.
Now, do the other ones do they just live on to be something else later on, or do they just go into the treasure chest and never come back?
Combo. Like there's a song on Let's Die Slowly that is on the Lesser Devils EP.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it just has a different name.
Oh.
We named it different. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess with that too, like, do you ever play song like so? When I saw you, were you playing these songs during that, or you just went a couple of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does that like? Once you get a new song out there like that, and you perform it, right? But it's not released yet. Like, what? How does that? Is that just to kind of like work it out, or are you just trying to like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I'll do things like creatively and I'll put something out there, but it's more or less me trying to like get like, all right, let me see how this works, and if it doesn't work, then I can bring it back and workshop it, kind of thing. I'm
usually sold on the song. Like if I brought it to the point where I'm gonna like play it in front of people, I've probably scrutinized it a bit. Mm-hmm. But I think with these songs particularly, it was weird because some of those songs were recorded, done.
Yeah.
Before I'd ever played them live. So that was kind of strange to almost live up to a recording. Yeah, it's its own brand of psychosis because I'm like trying to live up to a recording no one's heard, only me. So it's like they're recorded and done, but I know what they sound like recorded, and I'm trying to I don't know. I guess long story short, for the most part, I am kind of workshopping them, but I'm like looking for like my gaps in the songs, like when I'm playing them live. I guess like the song is there.
Yeah.
I always refer to like the stuff as like a skeleton. It's like I haven't really quite put the organs in there yet, but it's like
yeah, right on. Now, did you put this one out yourself, or did this one go under a label? Okay, you did. You ended up putting this one out yourself. Okay. Yeah. Are you doing more than the digital release for it, or?
I think so. I'm not sure how that's going to come about or anything. I was turning. So the record came out on my birthday. And that was part of it. And I was like, you know what? Turning 45, I've been sitting on this record. I'm just going to put it out. I knew I wasn't going to put it out on a label right now or anything like that. So I figured I just wanted people to hear it. But I do want to wind up getting a vinyl release.
Wait, so the 10th is your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You share your birthday with a friend of mine and my sister, one of my sisters.
Yeah.
That's a popular day.
I know. What's going on with that? I have a few friends that wound up on the 11th and the 9th, so everyone's peppered in that area.
Yeah, I know people on the 9th. My other sister's the 4th. Like, yeah. No, that's
I turned the big 45. I've been telling everybody I turned 50 to try to see if I can get compliments.
I still think, hey, you look younger than 45, my friend. So,
Thank you.
Of course. So when you write a song, tell me about like the experience you go through, like when you get the idea. Where does that come from?
I usually have well before I have a lot of people have they'll like strum their guitars or do they have like a melody in mind. I definitely just have like a moment in mind that I'm trying to put music to for the most part. Because Kind of like what I said about someone missing a button on their shirt. Something random that made me feel something like being like, oh, that person seems uncomfortable because they never dress up, because they don't really go to funerals, or stuff like that. And that's like a moment that I have, and then I usually start thinking about like, how does that equate to like my life, and then I kind of build around that.
Yeah. So you take
which I think is the opposite.
So you try to find like how it relates to you. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool way to think about it. I feel like in the world, I think people should do that when they like meet somebody. You know what I mean? They try to relate more than just fucking
some level
quick to judge, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's an ocean that we don't know about each other at any given moment.
Yeah.
Like an ocean's worth of information. Like that's like, so empathy's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it usually starts like that. Sometimes, like I said before, some of the songs that I've written along the way were so personal and rooted in my life that it felt like I'd said everything I needed to say.
Right.
Or kind of like put that stuff, like kind of threw some dirt on that stuff, and then I just felt like I needed to live a little, because I don't want to sit down and just be like, I need to write a song today. I don't think that's me. It's cool that people do that. I think that's some work ethic, and that's awesome. But I don't think I have that in me. I think a song usually has to chase me a bit.
I like that. I think that might have been one of the first processes that I've heard for that on the podcast. So
cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. No, I do a similar thing with like writing. I need to, like, something happens and like I get it, just the floodgates in my brain just open up, and you know what I mean? And it could be something like just like what you said, like you see somebody and like their tie's a little off or something, or it could be like, I remember I was getting ready to head down to my sister was having her first kid, and I was getting ready to head down there because the baby was coming just like a little bit early, and a song came on, and it like all of it, like I just stood there for about 5 minutes and outlined it, and that's the script that I just finished, that I'd finished. And that now I'm working on like the second draft of, because like the whole story, that's what happens. Like when I get an idea for that, the whole story is played in my head, and then I'm like, I need to outline this right now, or else I'm going to lose it, And I outline something. I do a brief outline, and I can barely read my own handwriting, so like all that happens, But then I got to decipher it later and figure out what the fuck I was trying to say. But then everything else, the filler stuff just comes so easy for me. Where
that's awesome.
Once I get the outline, like I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like, let's go, and I just dive into it. And I always feel like I have too much to say when it comes to needing to write something short, and not enough to say when it comes to really long form stuff. So I gotta find that balance, man.
You really should try songs. Now that you say that, I do, on like the notes section of my phone. It's actually just like a bunch of like a one sentence. Like one sentence note, and it's just because I was like, I don't want to lose this, but I know I will. Also, like, I get so especially like working all the time, I get so sidetracked with stuff, and I think it's a lot of people have this, where like you be in the middle of like your work day and realize that you're incredibly motivated to do something creative while you're definitely
it's always in the worst time possible, and then when you have nothing to do, you just stare.
yeah I have nothing to do, and I'm like, what sounds great? A nap.
I love naps. The older I've gotten, the more naps That's a
lovely
I take.
thing.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you there. And like the project that I'm hopefully is going to be released this fall. All of those came from like I saw something or a thought just kind of popped into my head, and I just wrote it in my notes app, and then I like wrote something with it. So if I do a print version, I see it as whatever that note was that I wrote is going to be in like italics at the bottom, and then everything else that's above it is like what came from that, That's how I see it in my head, but who knows? I might not even put it out in print. I might do the audio and just leave it there. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I think there's I mean, I'm sure that you've created stuff too where you're like, or like, maybe this is just for me. Like I don't know if you've ever done that. Like I've definitely written songs.
I did it for 30 years.
Yeah. Like I think when I was doing the writing for like the short stories, like I'd written I have two first drafts of two novels that are done, and they're like substantial. And but I realized I don't really know how to do a second draft very well. Would be or have the motivation to do it, I guess. And I also realized that like sometimes things are just like, maybe I just wrote that for me. Maybe I just needed to write this stuff down. But I spent a lot of time writing it, so I really needed something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now, is All Bones Future Dust? Is that your only like published book that you have out there?
Yeah, I put out a novella afterwards called like the Irate Gods of Late Stage Capitalism.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that? All right.
Yeah, it was a super short press that I did.
Okay.
I'll get you one. I have one.
Yeah, I'd love to buy one from you. Yeah, I'd love to buy one from you. You know, it's funny. I went to Pooza Fest this year, and it was the first like real vacation I ever took. And I took one of Micah's books with me, and I read it like the entire like the weekend. I read it through the weekend, and it was like, man, I need to take more vacations so I can just sit down and read. I never have time just to sit and read. It drives me insane. I ended up doing audio. I have like an Audible account because like when I used to travel for work, and like I was just always on the road, and I'm like, I need to be able to do like, so I just started listening to books, and that's the only way I can really like I'm switching jobs, so like I'm hoping I'll have time to do, like, in a perfect world, again, I have a schedule, and I'm gonna have like, this is podcasting day, this is that podcast day, this is my writing day, this is my reading, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna stick to it, but that's the idea, you know.
I mean, you got to give yourself a roadmap at least. So.
Right on, man. Yeah, I have to. I got to at least try, you know. But now that I have your book in hand and I have a couple days off, I think we're starting this one this week. So.
Oh yeah, let me know what you think.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love. I don't know. I just love storytelling, man. It's like something that's always been. And again, like I said, I that's why the music I like is kind of like, it does that. You know what I mean? It tells a story. You know.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a bibliophile. Most of my downtime is reading, to be honest.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish I had more time. Like so even to the point where like I'm doing podcast work and I have an audiobook playing for me. You know.
Yeah.
I kind of got burnt out on every day I had to listen to something new, like music wise, but I'm kind of like, at the moment I don't know if I'm just trying to like dissociate from the world at the moment, but like audiobooks have been the thing right now, you know.
Yeah, I go large chunks of time without listening to any music.
Oh yeah?
Weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, I know. You know what, if you'd asked me like 10 years ago that if I would do that, I would be like, absolutely not. I can't survive without it. It's like oxygen. But I find myself going a long time without listening to music sometimes. If I'm writing stuff too, I don't listen to music.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah. It's like I won't read interviews before I have someone on the podcast because I don't want to. I don't want any little bit of influence. I want this thing to be as unhinged as me, and that's what we're doing today. You know.
Yeah, keep it real. Yeah. Totally.
Now, did I see something? Do you brew beer?
I've been a brewer for like 20 years. Yeah.
Okay, I did see that. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, that in itself is an art form. Me and my buddies tried to brew some beer, and one of the things, they all like started blowing up on their own. Like the bottles are blowing up and shit. Like So tell me about the brewing process and what got you into that.
I stumbled into it, actually. I wound up getting a job at Harpoon way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, like, was on, like, the back of the line putting cases on, and, like, I didn't have any... I liked to drink, but I didn't have any, like, passion for, like, making beer. Mm-hmm. So, like, I came at it from, like, the opposite direction, whereas people are, like, home brewers, and I think I did one home brew batch. I can't remember. But, I just started doing that. Jobs would open, and I would move up. And then once I started really getting a feel for it, it became like my career, which is a wild thing. I am on hiatus from brewing right now. I make popcorn for a living right now, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Yeah? How do you make popcorn?
It's like a Willy Wonka factory, man. It's like I live in Somersworth, New Hampshire, and right across the street, there's a little popcorn factory, and I am there right now.
No shit. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm taking a little break. Not the least of which probably is because I've been sober for 9 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Now,
so
what do you like? You take care of the equipment and all that stuff too? Did you like?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
So
it's like a factory job, really. When you think about it, it's like like brewing's the same. It's very much a factory job with some very like kind of concentrated elements that are a little different.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because like what I do for work, I'll tell you later because I don't usually talk about my job on here. But
I gotcha.
But yeah, I know. I like just a question. I'll have a question for you about the whole brewing process and equipment and stuff. So, but yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. And like, I don't know I guess I don't know how people would make. How do you make popcorn kernels? So like, how do you get the?
It's kind of not that dissimilar from. So the way that we do it is like it's kind of has that like artisan tilt to it. So it's like. It's literally like little stainless steel like poppers we put oil and kernels and it pops.
Oh, so you're popping it. You're popping it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I thought you were like growing the corn and then like shaving off the kernels or whatever.
It's honestly like people used to say like when they'd come visit me at breweries, they'd be like, "This is like," they would use that Willy Wonka term, and the brewing has nothing on popcorn when it comes to that. There is this weird. Element to it that it's almost like you are laboring for like 8 hours a day or 9 hours a day, but it's hard not to look around and almost kind of smirk at what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's like you're like. So I've like traded in. Like I used to show up to parties with like all the free beer, and now I'm showing up with like bags of popcorn.
I would appreciate. I love popcorn.
Yeah. Somebody else can bring the beer for now. I plan on getting my boots back on though and brewing again. But
That's cool. It's good. It's good to take a break from things sometimes.
It's been a long career. 20 years is.
That's a long time, dude. I don't think I've done anything for 20 years other than be alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like 20 years straight. I guess writing screenplays. I did that for about 20 years, but that's not a job. Like you know what I mean? Like it's different. Man,
I think it's so cool that you write screenplays. Honestly, that's
thanks,
awesome.
man.
I didn't know that.
I did. I could never figure out what I wanted to write. Like as far as like a medium, and then like. I love film,
Yeah.
Although I don't watch a whole lot of movies anymore. I do watch some, but like I used to go to the movies twice a week. Sometimes I do a double feature at them. You know what I mean? I don't really do that anymore, but I do try to watch. But it's just a storytelling thing that I love. So it's like whatever I can do to soak in a story, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. This was awesome. Where can people? Are you going to be playing any shows? You have any shows coming up or?
Don't laugh. I wrote it down.
No,
right before, 'cause I was like,
you don't know how many times I asked that, and people are like, "Hold on," and then I have to shorten like a 5-minute window.
Yeah.
So tell me.
I have to tell you. So before we hopped on together, I had therapy because I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And I used this setup for the first time. My friend Chris helped me set this up because I was like, I'm going to sound like garbage. And so I did a test run with my therapist. And when my therapist got on, the first thing she said was, "Whoa, what's that?"
That's awesome.
Anyway, sorry.
That's great. I went to therapy earlier this week, actually. So, because I'm a grown ass man.
Yes.
I started going when I was 35, and I wish I had gone a lot sooner. So
yeah, hard same. Yeah.
All right, so lay it on me. What do you got for shows?
I'm gonna try to go through my old school like FNX voice here.
Oh,
just kidding. I don't have that. Sorry. 10-3. The Lesser Devils are playing at the Button Factory in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. November 1st, Lesser Devils are playing at Magma in Gloucester, Massachusetts. 12-4 at the Plow and Stars, I'm playing solo. And 12-20, Lesser Devils are playing at the world famous Silhouette Cocktail Lounge.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was the date on the last one? I'm writing them down too.
12-20.
12-20 at Silhouette. All right.
Yeah, that's going to be like a show with a bunch of buds that I'm not supposed to announce yet. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll make sure. When is it? When are you announcing that one? So I make sure.
I can say that I can announce the date, but not the bands.
Okay, I got you. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Where can people find you on social media? Where can they find your music? What is the best way to buy your music so you, the artist, get the profit?
Bandcamp all the way.
Bandcamp all the way.
Yeah, Lesser Devils has our EP up there. We're recording again, actually, end of September with Ezra Cohen in New Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
Chipping away at a couple songs there. And so, yeah, Bandcamp across the board. Jeff Rowe. I believe it's Jeff Rowe.
Okay.
I don't know if it was Jeff. A lot of my stuff back then was Jeff Rowboat. I'm pretty sure it's just Jeff Rowe.
Okay. Actually, I got it up right here. Yeah, it's just Jeff Rowe. Yeah, Jeff Rowe.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lesser Devils is Lesser Devils too. Yeah.
Cool. I met Ezra this past year at Pooza.
What a wonder.
Oh.
What a gem.
Yeah. I got to have him. I told him I was going to reach out to him. I got to have him on too. So, It's
hard not to feel good around that guy. He's just, you're dead inside if you don't feel good around him.
Yeah. I caught his set. That I think he only played one at Pooza the last night. And I'm really happy I decided not to go and see that other band. You know what I mean? Like, not for any reason other than I've been meaning to catch Ezra, and I'm happy I had a chance to.
What a songwriter.
Yeah,
his band's awesome too. They're great.
So yeah. Well, Jeff, you're definitely up there as far as songwriters in my book. So
thank you.
Again, like I said, the first time I saw you perform, I was other than tied to a bear. Like I didn't really know your music, and like it did that thing that when I go see my favorite band does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Of course, man. Of course. And like I said, let's have you back on with Lesser Devils if you want.
We'd love to. The boys would be stoked.
Hell yeah. Cool. We'll and then hell, man, if you got anything coming up, if you got a book release, because I've had a few authors on just for books, like let's do it. Let's talk.
Would love to.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
Winter was a hard time. I felt like an orphan. I waited for the right line just to say how I felt numb. Spring found me feeling numb. I was succumbed.